the crystalline chamber of the Galactic Council hung in the void between stars, a monument to diplomatic pretense that had lasted 3,000 cycles. Bella Chen sat motionless in the human delegation's observation pod, her neural interface feeding her real-time translations of the 17 species currently debating humanity's fate. Her fingers drummed a silent rhythm against her thigh, a pattern that would have meant nothing to the assembled aliens but was, in fact, a countdown. "The humans have violated Protocol Theta-9 for the last time," Ambassador Kralox of the Vathine Collective announced, his voice modulating through frequencies that made the translation software crackle. "Their colony on Kepler 442b has exceeded population density limits by 43%. Their mining operations in the TRAPPIST system continue despite our explicit warnings. They refuse to submit to reproductive controls." Bella allowed herself the ghost of a smile. The Vathine had finally worked up the courage. She'd been waiting 17 months for this moment, ever since she'd been assigned as the Sol system's cultural liaison, a diplomatic title that meant absolutely nothing and gave her the perfect cover. "We move for immediate sanctions," continued Kralox, his chromatophores flashing angry purple across his translucent skin. "And if the humans refuse compliance, we move for military intervention." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of a L-I-E-N Chinese letter. The insectoid Zhrel clicked their mandibles in agreement. The gaseous Nephilim pulsed with approval. Only the reptilian Saurics remained silent, their ambassador's vertical pupils fixed on Bella's pod with what might have been suspicion or might have been indigestion. Their expressions were notoriously difficult to read. Bella activated her secure channel. "Leo, you getting this?" Light years away, aboard the stealth research vessel Prometheus, Dr. Leo Martinez looked up from his quantum entanglement array. "Every word. They actually said it. Military intervention." "Finally," Bella whispered, and she meant it with every fiber of her being. The galaxy had underestimated humanity from the moment they discovered humans were still using chemical rockets. The Council species had been spacefaring for millennia, their civilizations built on anti-gravity, zero-point energy, and faster-than-light travel that relied on cosmic strings and dimensional folding. Humanity had seemed primitive, barely worthy of protectorate status. What the Council didn't understand, what they couldn't understand, was that humanity's apparent technological backwardness was deliberate. "Initiating Phase 1, Leo said, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. "The packages are armed." 300 years ago, when humanity had first achieved crude, faster-than-light capability by brute forcing their way through spacetime with nuclear-pumped antimatter drives, they discovered something the elegant Council species had long forgotten. The universe didn't care about elegance. It only cared about physics. And humans were very, very good at weaponizing physics. The Council had forbidden humanity from developing certain technologies. No artificial intelligence beyond narrow parameters. No self-replicating nanomachines. No genetic engineering beyond approved therapeutic applications. No weaponization of faster-than-light technology. Humanity had smiled, nodded, and agreed to every restriction. Then they'd gone back to their labs and built everything anyway, hidden in the vast emptiness between stars, concealed in hollowed-out asteroids and false research stations cataloged as mining operations or agricultural platforms. "Ambassador Chen," the Council arbiter's synthesized voice cut through her thoughts, "the Council requests humanity's response to these allegations." Bella stood, her form projected into the center of the chamber as a 100-meter hologram. She could feel the weight of alien eyes and eye analogs upon her. "The Sol Confederation acknowledges the Council's concerns," she said, her voice carefully neutral. "However, we maintain that our expansion falls within established parameters of sovereign development. We reject the accusation of treaty violation." "You reject?" Kralox's skin flashed crimson. You occupy 47 systems. You were allocated 12. We occupy 12 systems, Bella corrected. We maintain research outposts and mining operations in 35 others, all in regions your own surveys deemed uninhabitable or economically non-viable. Semantics. The ZHRL ambassador's translation came through harsh and staccato. You breed like parasites. Your population exceeds 8 billion across your holdings. We breed, Bella said quietly, like a species that understands survival. The chamber fell silent. It was the most honest thing she'd said in 17 months. Then you refuse to comply with population controls, the arbiter asked. We do. And you refuse to cease expansion into unauthorized territories. We do. Then the council has no choice. The arbiter's form solidified, its energy matrix crystallizing into something almost physical. By unanimous vote, the Galactic Council hereby declares a state of enforcement against the human species. You have 72 hours to evacuate non-compliant territories. After that period, Council peacekeeping forces will ensure compliance by any means necessary. Bella let the moment stretch, every eye on her projection. Then she smiled, a real smile this time, sharp as a scalpel. Finally, she said aloud. The chamber erupted in confusion. Leo, she subvocalized, they've done it. Execute Phoenix Protocol. Executing now, Leo confirmed. God help them. Across 17 star systems, humanity's true work revealed itself. The mining operations in the TRAPPIST system powered down their camouflage fields, revealing titanic mass drivers capable of accelerating planet-killer projectiles to 0.95 C. The agricultural platforms near Proxima Centauri shed their outer hulls, exposing relativistic missile batteries that had been quietly calculating firing solutions for 3 years. The research stations in the outer territories activated quantum entanglement networks that made Council FTL communication look like smoke signals. But the real revelation was deeper, more fundamental. For 2 centuries, while the Council species had refined their elegant technologies, humanity had pursued a different path. They'd built computers not from exotic matter but from quantum probability itself, achieving processing power that exceeded the Council's finest AI by orders of magnitude. They'd weaponized not just physics but mathematics, creating paradox bombs that could collapse localized spacetime, entropy accelerators that could age a star by millennia in seconds, and strangest of all, girdle weapons that could make an enemy's own logic systems eat themselves from within. The Council had banned these technologies not because they were cruel, but because the Council species had never imagined them possible. Their thinking had been constrained by 3,000 cycles of comfortable superiority. Humanity's thinking had been sharpened by 300 years of being told they weren't good enough, weren't advanced enough, weren't worthy. Ambassador Chen, the arbiter said slowly, what have you done? What you forced us to do, Bella replied. You've declared war on a species that has spent its entire spacefaring existence preparing for exactly this moment. Did you really think we'd expand so aggressively without a plan? Did you think we'd violate your precious protocols without expecting consequences? You wanted this, Kralox breathed, his chromatophores flickering between colors too fast to track. You wanted us to declare war. Needed it, Bella corrected. Your own laws require unanimous council approval for military action. We needed you all on record, all complicit. Now there are no neutrals, no fence-sitters, just you and us. But why? Bella's projection leaned forward, and for a moment she looked tired, ancient despite her 34 years. Because we're human, she said simply. Because every species in this council has held us down, held us back, treated us like children who needed to be managed and controlled. You limited our growth, our development, our freedom, all while taking our resources, our labor, our innovations. You built your peace on our subjugation. She gestured to the space beyond the chamber. But mostly, because 300 years ago, when we were barely capable of fusion drives and particle beams, when we looked at the galaxy with wonder and hope, the Council sent us a message. Do you remember it, Arbiter? The Arbiter's energy matrix flickered. It remembered. You told us there was a place for humanity in the galactic community, Bella continued. That we would be welcomed, guided, protected. What you meant was controlled, limited, caged. You wanted us small, manageable, safe. And humans don't do safe, Leo added, his voice patching through to broadcast across all Council channels. We do impossible. The first Council peacekeeping fleet dropped out of FTL near Mars. 3 dozen warships bristling with plasma cannons and gravity manipulators that could crack a planet's crust. They found themselves immediately painted by targeting solutions from the 16 human defense platforms that had been orbiting in stealth mode, their existence unknown until that precise moment. The Council ships had 2.3 seconds to realize they were outmatched before the platforms fired. It wasn't even close. Back in the Council chamber, Bella watched the tactical feeds through her neural interface. The Phoenix Protocol was unfolding exactly as planned. Not a war of conquest. Humanity didn't have the numbers for that. But a war of humiliation, of demonstration. A war that would end in 72 hours with humanity's borders secured, Council fleets scattered, and every species in the galaxy understanding one simple truth. Humans were done asking permission. You've destroyed the peace, the Arbiter said hollowly. No, Bella replied. We've destroyed the lie you called peace. What comes next? That's up to you. You can accept humanity as equals, true partners in a real galactic community, or you can try again to put us in our place. She smiled that sharp smile once more. But I'll warn you, we've been preparing for 300 years. How long have you been preparing for us? The Council chamber fell silent, and in that silence, Bella heard something she'd waited her entire life to hear. Respect. Finally,